Hi everyone, I'm Zanana Rose. Good to see you again. If you haven't been here before, welcome to my YouTube channel, Natural Living with Zanana. I'm on a mission to live my happiest, healthiest, best life, and I'm on a mission to help you live your best, happiest, healthiest, longest life possible. I'm sharing with you information about toxic chemicals that can be found in everyday products that you might not even be aware are there, how to find those, how to avoid them, and how to find fantastic, non-toxic, healthy, sustainable products that you can choose over the toxic and wasteful ones, harmful products that are out on the market as well. So let's get right into it. Today, I'm talking about something that we all use on a regular basis, and right now we're using it even more than ever because of COVID-19. And we may or may not be aware that there are toxic chemicals lurking in this seemingly innocent product. And I want to remind you that the FDA is not they do not have the authority, they have not been given authority to regulate products, household products and personal care products. So that means that companies can put whatever they would like to in products. And sometimes they put chemicals in that are harmful and toxic to us, and sometimes we might not even know that they're there because they can actually be hidden in other ingredients or can be byproducts of ingredients that are listed. So today, like I said, I'm going to talk with you about hand soap. Such a simple product, but it really makes a big difference if we can keep natural and healthy products in our homes, because when we go out to the grocery store or the doctor's office, we're gonna be using something that probably isn't quite as healthy. And the name of the game here is reducing our exposure, because the more we can reduce our exposure in different areas of our lives, then the less chemicals our bodies will be taking in and having to process. Remember, our body does know how to process chemicals. It is processed through the liver, they are processed through the kidneys, they're processed in different ways in our body, and that's fine. Our body knows how to do that. But when it gets overloaded by too many products, then we have a problem, and then that's where disease can come in. We can find ourselves overweight, we can find ourselves tired, we can have headaches, we can have cancer, we can have other endocrine problems and symptoms. So these are all things that can happen with prolonged exposure and buildup of too much exposure to these various chemicals. And that's why we need to be aware of this, because as we know, we cannot avoid every single chemical and toxic ingredient in our lives. We just can't avoid every single thing. That would be crazy. So, but we can do the best we can. So again, you are going to choose what you think you can reduce in your life. And it's not up to me to decide what those products are for you. But I'm just going to be sharing with you multiple different products over time that you can choose to be reducing your exposure to toxic chemicals. So let's talk about hand soap. And I have brought here 3 of my favorites, and we're going to talk about each one and why I like them, why they are my favorites. So first, we'll talk about EO. I talked about that last time when I did the hand sanitizer episode. And by the way, if you haven't seen that one, go ahead and take a look at it. I started with hand sanitizer, now I'm going into hand soap because, like I said, it's something that we're using a lot right now with COVID-19. It is important to be washing our hands really regularly. The CDC recommends washing our hands for at least 20 seconds, and that is the best way to ensure that you're reducing your exposure to COVID-19, to coronavirus. So it doesn't say that we need any special type of hand soap, just any hand soap will do. So one thing that we need to make sure of is that we're steering clear of the antibacterial hand soaps. Those will be the ones that have triclosan in them. Triclosan is not necessary, and it is not an ingredient that we want in any of our products. So make sure that whatever you're purchasing does not have triclosan on the label. Triclosan is an antibiotic. It is reserved for hand soaps in doctors' offices and places where they really need it. So none of these soaps that I'm going to be talking about here today have triclosan in it, and that's important to note for sure. So EO, I do really like the EO brand. They make a nice French lavender scent. It has no synthetic fragrance in it. That is really important. Synthetic fragrance can have lots and lots of chemicals in that title, and that we definitely want to steer clear of. No synthetic fragrance. Synthetic fragrance usually has phthalates, which is harmful to ourselves. It is an endocrine disruptor and something that we need to be steering clear of. So fragrance-free, paraben-free, sulfate-free, and triclosan-free. It also does have some organic ingredients in it. It is not 100% organic, but it does have some organic ingredients in it. Now, the one thing I do like EO, I think it's not very drying. It's a pretty good soap. It's got a great lather, even though it doesn't have sodium lauryl sulfate in it. It's really all around a very good product. The one thing that I will say about it is there are lots of ingredients in it that I don't know what they are. So that is one thing to look for when you're looking for an ingredient. Do you understand what each of the ingredients are? And if you do understand what they are, then it's probably safe for you. But when you start looking at a label and say you're at the grocery store and there's all these big words that you can barely read and you don't even know what they are, that's a sign that you may want to be cautious about it, and you may want to steer clear of it. So just be aware of that. Again, I talked before about a couple of sites that can help you when there's Sadie. That's my dog Sadie, everyone. Yes, she's the cutest girl, and she wanted to see where her mom was. So when you're in the store and you're looking for a product, sometimes it can be very difficult because you may not understand or you may not remember what it is that you're trying to avoid. So one way to overcome that is that every ingredient that you read is natural and you know what it is that is identifiable by you. Other things that you can do, there's a great app that's called Think Dirty. So if you get that on your phone, then you can easily scan an item when you're in the store. Or if you didn't get to do it there, then when you get back home, you can definitely scan it. And you can look for these products on that website. So you can look for these products on that site or the EWG site. Both of those are excellent sites to look these products up on. So EO has good ratings. I think I looked it up on EWG and it looked like a good product. I think it had a score of 2, and a score of 2 is good. You want the lowest score possible. Between 1 and 3 is great. 4 to 5 is moderately risky, and then over 5 or 6 is definitely an unhealthy product. So let's talk about Alafia's Everyday Shea soap. This is actually one of my favorite soaps. This is my favorite soap. The reason I love this soap is that all of the ingredients are identifiable. You can actually read them. Moringa leaf extract, there's shea butter, there's some oil, and the essential oils, and that is pretty much it. This is also a fantastic company. It's made with all fair trade ingredients, and they work to create equality and empowerment for women and families in Africa, which is where this product is made, I believe. So Everyday Shea is, for multiple reasons, a really great product. And like I said, because it has shea butter in it, it is very moisturizing. and that is one of the reasons I love this product. It feels much more moisturizing than either of these other two products. So for me, I use it all the time. It's my favorite soap, and I highly recommend it. Again, this one has no fragrance, and it is just scented with essential oils. It smells really good. I love the lavender spice. That is a very nice subtle scent. And again, it's moistening while it's cleansing your hands. It's moisturizing while it's cleansing your hands. So I highly recommend this soap and this brand. They do have some other products that I'll be talking about as well in future episodes. So the third of my favorites is Dr. Bronner's. Again, we talked about Dr. Bronners last week when we talked about hand sanitizers, because they have an excellent hand sanitizer. Be sure to check that out. Be sure to check that other video out if you haven't already seen it. And if you are appreciating anything that you hear in this video, please make sure to hit the like button down below. Share the video with your friends if you find that it's helpful. And also subscribe to my channel if you are interested in hearing more about these sorts of things. And so the Dr. Bronner's 4-in-1 Peppermint is the flavor, the scent that I purchased this time. It's very invigorating. I love the scent. They make several, and they also have unscented, so you can get that too if you really are even sensitive to essential oils. And for some people with multiple chemical sensitivities, essential oils are even hard for them. So this is an organic sugar soap. So that is something that is really fantastic about it. It's organic. EO did say that they had some ingredients that were organic. This is all organic. So it's a fantastic soap. It lists all of the ingredients and where they're getting them. Some of the ingredients are fair trade ingredients, good for your body and the earth. And Dr. Bronner's is just a very reputable, all-natural brand. So if you haven't heard of them or haven't tried any of their products, maybe it's time you did, because I highly recommend it. The one drawback I would say to this soap is that it does tend to make my hands a little bit drier. I don't know why that is, what ingredient is in it that does that for me. Maybe it's the sugar, I don't know. But for some reason this one, if I've used it a few times, I will notice that my hands feel a little bit more dry. So it's organic, and that is a really big plus. It's important for sure. But maybe not my favorite just because of the drying. So again, I would say the Everyday Shea Alaffia is my absolute favorite for multiple reasons. And then EO comes in a good second, and then Dr. Bronner's would be my third favorite. Even though it's organic, which I think is fantastic, it's just a little too drying for me. But for you, it may be just fine. So those would be the ones that I would recommend to try out. I do have a couple other, one thing I want to say about EO is I'm almost out of this. I don't know if you can see, but I bought this on Amazon. And this is fantastic because all of these containers are definitely recyclable, so that is really good. But having a bulk option is even better, because then you don't have to recycle the bottle until it, seems to get too old. And if you even have a soap dispenser that you've purchased and you want to refill it, this is a great option as well. So this is fantastic. Like I said, I ordered it on Amazon. It has lasted me months and months, and it's a great way to go. I think Dr. Bronner's also has a bulk option like that. I'm not sure if it's for the sugar soap or not, but in the regular Dr. Bronner's, I think they do as well. And perhaps Alafia does. I have not looked into it. I should look into that next, because like I said, it is my favorite soap. So yeah, check out EO and see if you can find this, because again, this is a great option to save the planet. The less plastic they have to make, the less we're using the resources to create our products that we're purchasing. And that is one of the things that we're all about too: reducing waste, reducing use of our precious resources on this planet. So I wanted to talk about Everyone. Now this EO and Everyone are different, they're different brands in the same company. So both of these products are made by the same parent company, Small World Trading Company. Let's see if this one, yep, Small World Trading Company. So they make both of these soaps, and I loved this soap until I recently found out that it does have benzyl alcohol in it. And it does have one other ingredient. I don't remember which one it was. If you go on EWG and look this up, you will see both of those. Now, it does not have fragrance. It does not have synthetic fragrance. It does not have triclosan. It does not have parabens. So it is decent. It's just not the best like these other three. It is given a rating of 4 or 5 on EWG, and that is because of these two ingredients, one of which is benzyl alcohol. And benzyl alcohol has been known to cause allergic reactions in some people and have immunological reactions as well. So I believe it is banned in some other countries, but here in the US, they can still use it in products. But it is something that is probably best to steer clear of. Again, it's not the worst, it's just not the greatest. There are some other choices that are better. So I just wanted to mention that and share that with you. And then I wanted to share a couple products that I purchased not too long ago for my powder room because they look pretty. So this I thought was such a pretty bottle, and I found it right down the street at my local Zupans. And you know, it's a nice soap. It's a foaming soap. But the problem is that it has sodium lauryl sulfate in it. And sodium lauryl sulfate is irritating to the skin, and it's definitely an ingredient that you want to avoid. Anything that has an ETH at the end, sodium lauryl sulfate is one of them. There are others that end in ETH. I don't remember them off the top of my head, but it's definitely an ingredient that you want to stay away from. Not only because it's irritating and can be drying to the skin, but also because it can be contaminated with 1,4-dioxane, which is a known cancer-causing ingredient. So like I said, it's not listed on the ingredient list because it is not one of the ingredients, but we don't know whether sodium lauryl sulfate in this instance was contaminated by 1,4-dioxane. And so because we don't know that, it's really best just to steer clear of it. So anything, sodium lauryl sulfate is commonly found in soaps, in any type of soap, because it helps with sudsing. It creates sudsing in your shampoo, in your hand soap, in your dish soap. So it's a very common ingredient for that reason. But again, it's also commonly contaminated with 1,4-dioxane, and we wouldn't know that at all because you know, the company isn't sharing that information. We're not testing it, but we need to make sure that we stay away from that because, like I said, it is a toxic ingredient. It can cause cancer and disrupt your endocrine system. So important to steer clear of that for sure. And so that is one of the main reasons that this is not a good product, not to mention some of the other ingredients in it. It does have nice essential oils in it, and they do put shea butter in it. So there are plenty of good ingredients in it too, which help you to, you know, they're marketing those, and you look at that and say, oh, it's probably pretty good. But then what we don't realize is that it has some of the other ingredients in it that are not good for you. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else we want to talk about in this one. I think those are the main things. I have another one that I bought for my powder room. And again, it has a super pretty label. I love the roses. And this actually does have, it's a Marseille soap. So, and it was made in the traditional Marseille soap methods. So, of course, that makes it sound amazing. And the one thing that I loved about it is that it does have rose flower oil, and that is listed right on the ingredient list. It doesn't have that many ingredients, which is fantastic, and it is free of sodium lauryl sulfate, so it does not have that. But the one thing that it does have is parfum or fragrance. And fragrance, like we talked about last time, is one thing that we must steer clear of. It's very important to steer clear of fragrance because, like we said, the FDA does not have the authority to regulate what companies are putting in their products, and fragrance, using the term fragrance or perfume, is one way that companies can cover up what ingredients are actually in a product. So fragrance could be up to 100 products, and probably most of them are toxic or not natural. So whenever you see the word fragrance, and this other flamingo soap also has fragrance listed on it, whenever you see the word fragrance, it's important to steer clear of it, be cautious about it. Some products will say natural fragrance, but if they don't list the fragrance or what ingredients are in that natural fragrance, still, we don't know and we can't trust them. If it is natural, then they should be able to just list it on the label. And that is what we're looking for. That is what we're asking for in companies, because we have the right to know what is in our products, and especially if we're going to purchase it. We don't want to have hidden ingredients. We don't want to risk that. We don't want to risk our health on not knowing what is in a product. So again, fragrance is not safe, and it's something to steer clear of. And this product even says 97% natural, 97% natural, 3% not natural. So this is something that companies will often do. There is another big brand out there that does list their ingredients. They do have fragrance in some of their products, and that is Mrs. Meyer's Clean Day. They have unhealthy ingredients in some of their products, even though they are marketing and advertising that it is a natural product. So you really do have to be careful with those products. There are some that are safe and some that are unsafe. So again, I just recommend going to EWG or Think Dirty, and there you can find the information that you need about all of your favorite products. So there you have it, guys. This is, these are my 3 favorite hand soaps, and what you need to look for in a hand soap is Triclosan, steer clear of that, sodium lauryl sulfate or anything that has an ETH at the end of it. You need to steer clear of, oh gosh, what was the ingredient? Benzyl alcohol, steer clear of benzyl alcohol. That can cause allergy in some people. Sensitivity, and also can cause immunological reactions. So that's another one to steer clear of. So we said fragrance, sodium lauryl sulfate, or anything with an ETH. We're steering clear of benzyl alcohol. And those are the 3 that I think we talked about today. So I hope that was helpful to you. Again, if it was helpful, please click the like button below. And if you want to hear more about what we've talked about today, then please hit the subscribe button. I'll be posting every week, and there will be lots of great information coming your way. All right, thanks so much, you guys. Hope you have a great day. I wish you the best of health.